Home alone siblings killed in pre-dawn fire as parents were out helping firemen. Heavy rain and floods in Assam kill at least 10 and displace more than 1 million. Good evening, I'm Cynthia Arthur. You're watching News on 2. Two siblings were found burned to death after being trapped in the fire which had engulfed their house early this morning. Firefighters and rescuers found the bodies of both victims after the flames were fully extinguished. The victims were known as Nur Salsabila Muhammad Fakrul Khair, aged 16, and his 13-year-old sister Nur Ain Sumaya. During the incident, the parents of the victims were at Port Klang to help prepare food for fire personnel who were on duty to put out the flames at the chemical plant at Taman Perindustrian Pulau Indah. Selangor Assistant Fire and Rescue Department Chief Hafisha Muhammad Nur said they received an emergency call at 2:48 a.m. and immediately dispatched a rescue team to the location of the fire. Upon their arrival about 15 minutes later, the flames were spreading, engulfing the house. Firefighters successfully got the flames under control within 2 minutes and fully extinguished the fire after 10 minutes. Havisham said the cause of the fire is still being investigated, while the bodies of the sibling victims have been sent to Banting Hospital for further action. The Labuan Marine Police yesterday arrested 2 foreign men and seized 2 pump boats for not having valid documents in an operation codenamed Ops Gelora Khas at the waters of Pulau Tiga, Sabah. Sabah Regional 4 Marine Police Commander ACP Muhammad Pajari Ali said both men aged 25 and 35 had committed the offence under Section 6, subsection 1C of the Immigration Act 1959-63. Both were also reported to have committed an offence under the Merchant Shipping Ordinance 1960 for failure to report the switch of skippers to port officers and misuse of their licenses and breaking the conditions of their permits. Both boats and equipment estimated to be worth 8,440 ringgit, which were confiscated, were handed over to the Menumbuk branch, Sabah Port and Wharf Department, while the skippers were sent to the Beaufort Police Station for further action. Police will gradually reduce the number of roadblocks set up in Pasir Gudang as conditions in the area return to normal. Outgoing Johor Police Chief Dato Muhammad Khalil Kadir Muhammad said 269 officers and personnel were charged to conduct the roadblocks to reduce the number of crimes around the area. Dato Muhammad Khalil said the initiative was also taken to monitor and prevent any attempts by irresponsible industries or individuals to transfer materials that can harm public safety. He also noted that the instructions were issued as a precautionary measure due to the incidents of shortage of breathing and vomiting that involved several students from separate schools since the 20th of June. The Johor Police Chief said this after attending the high-profile policing program at Jalan Wong Afuk in Johor Bahru. Johor Police recorded a total of 4,803 in criminal cases between January and June this year, compared to 5,152 cases in the same period last year, which is a reduction of 6.77%. Outgoing State Police Chief Dato Muhammad Khalil Khair Muhammad said police arrested 10,428 individuals with a seizure of various drugs weighing 2,634 kilograms with an estimated value of 125 million ringgit during the same period. He added that police also seized more than 400 kilograms of drugs worth more than 14 million ringgit in the same period last year. Meanwhile, criminal cases involving commercial crimes in the same period this year totaled 1,854 cases compared to 1,500 cases last year, an increase of 36.8%. On another note, Johor Deputy Police Chief Datuk Muhammad Kamaruddin Maddin has been appointed as the new Johor Police Chief effectively immediate. Datuk Muhammad Kamaruddin's appointment was made to replace Datuk Muhammad Khalil, who has been appointed as Director of Bukit Aman Narcotics Criminal Investigation Department. The handing over of duty ceremony by Datuk Muhammad Khalil Kadir Muhammad to Datuk Muhammad Kamaruddin was held this morning, witnessed by Bukit Aman Strategic and Technology Department Director Datuk Sri Tajuddin Marisa. Datuk Muhammad Khalil later handed over the task notes and baton to Datuk Muhammad Kamaruddin during the ceremony. Datuk Muhammad Kamaruddin, 55, has 31 years of experience in the police force. The Johor government will launch a fundraiser to help 12-year-old Irfan Wafi Idam Wadzir, who is suffering from myokemia, to receive treatment for his disease. The fundraiser aims to reduce treatment costs, which are being shouldered by Irfan's family. Education, Human Resource, Science and Technology Committee Chairman Aminul Huda Hassan said a committee would also be formed to manage the funds and to look into the best possible ways to treat Irfan, including going overseas for treatment. In addition, he said the fundraiser aims to help Irfan to identify the right resources and treatment that would allow him to get better.
Kita minta kepada orang ramai, khususnya syarikat-syarikat yang berada di sekitar sini dapat membantu untuk buat rawatan yang munasabah kepada adik Irfan selepas adik Irfan menduduki peperiksaan UPSR.
Earlier, Aminul Huda visited Sekolah Kebangsaan Taman Bukit Dahlia, Pasir Gudang, where he met with Irfan and his family. It was reported that the boy was warded at the Sultan Ismail Hospital in Johor Bahru after suffering breathing difficulties during the Sungai Kim Kim toxic pollution incident in March. He was diagnosed with myokemia after he was referred to the Kuala Lumpur hospital. The toxic pollution in Sungai Kim Kim in March affected about 4,000 residents in the Pasir Gudang area, leading to the temporary closure of 111 schools in Johor. In regards to the installation of gas detector meters at schools in Pasir Gudang to prevent any incidents of vomiting and fainting spells from recurring, Aminul Huda said he will submit a proposal to the Department of Environment, DOE, so that the equipment are placed in 10 schools with close proximity to the industrial area. Elaborating further, he said the equipment will also be upgraded to include an alarm system, which will give a warning sound if the air quality reaches an unsafe level. Previously, the Johor DOE provided the use of the gas detection meters to 111 schools in the vicinity of Pasir Gudang for a week for the schools to use, which will be returned today. To date, most of the schools, including SK Taman Bukit Dahlia, have recorded air quality readings that are safe and stable. The closure of the 3rd and 4th floors, however, will remain pending further instruction from the DOE. The Royal Malaysian Customs Department in Kelantan says the syndicate involved in the smuggling of cloned Singapore cars was believed to have resumed their activities in Kelantan. In light of this, the State Customs Department has set up a special committee to combat these illegal activities. Kelantan Customs Director Muhammad Rakbi Mat Saud said the department has already seized about 20 to 30 cloned cars of various types, such as Audi and Honda.
Dengan adanya pasukan khusus ini, kita yakin kita akan dapat membenteras atau sekurang-kurangnya mengurangkan kemasukan kereta-kereta klon daripada Singapura. Pemalsuan tu macam-macam cara pemalsuan, tapi kita juga kena pastilah cara-cara pemalsuan. Kita tak perlu nak cerita kat sinilah. Tapi pasukan kita dah faham cara dia MO untuk memalsukan dokumen. MO dia nak masuk ke sini pun kita dah risik, kita dah ambil tahu lah.
Elaborating further, Muhammad Rakbi said Kelantan's position bordering a neighboring country is one of the factors why the car clone syndicate operates in the state. The State Customs Director said this at a Kayuhan Santai Perkasa program held in Rantau Panjang today. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah yesterday completed his Umrah along with millions of other Muslims who are in the Holy Land for the Hajj pilgrimage season. His Majesty, who was escorted by Saudi Arabian security personnel throughout the rituals, was accompanied by his son, Tengku Amir Nasir Ibni Al-Sultan Abdullah, Foreign Minister Dato Saifuddin Abdullah, and several Malaysian delegates. In performing the rituals, the king also managed to kiss the Hajarul Aswad, set into the eastern corner of the Kaaba, located in the center of the Grand Mosque. A sweet moment was also shared during the rituals when Tengku Amir Nasir lent his hand to cut some of His Majesty's hair to complete the final part of the Umrah, the Tahallul. His Majesty was on a 3-day special visit to Saudi Arabia, beginning Friday at the invitation of His Majesty King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, the custodian of the two holy mosques. He had earlier on, during the first day of the trip, visited Madinah, Islam's second holiest city, where he met the Malaysian diaspora. Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Fuzia Saleh, says the proposal to absorb teachers of the Quran and Fardu Ain Kafa into permanent appointment is currently in its final stage. She said the working paper pertaining to the matter has been completed and is now in the midst of seeking feedback as well as negotiating with relevant stakeholders. According to Fuzia, the negotiations involve the implementation aspect and the issue will also be discussed with the members of parliament on Monday.
Kabinet pun dah siap, cuma proses sekarang ni proses orang kata kena ada feedback daripada pelbagai kementerian, feedback daripada bagai stakeholders, terutamanya ahli-ahli parlimen, sebab ini dalam menggubal dasar baru kan. Dan proses tu dah jalan, kertas kerja tu dah siap.
Fuzia said this after launching the new Malaysia exhibition in conjunction with the Pahang Levels National Narration Contest 2019 organised by the Information Department. Also present were Information Department's Deputy Director General, Digital Content, Dato' Muhammad Sukari Abdul Hamid, and Pahang Information Department Director, Muhammad Salmun Mustafa. The media previously reported that the proposal on Kafa contract teachers to be absorbed into permanent employment was expected to be tabled to the Cabinet this month and to be fully resolved the latest by next year. Presently, there are 31,460 qualified Kafa teachers serving at 5,609 Kafa premises nationwide. Coming up next, tourism industry expected to generate 192 billion ringgit next year. Malaysia's tourism industry is expected to generate 192 billion ringgit in revenue next year. Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Motek, Datuk Mohammadin Katapi, said his ministry is confident of achieving its target of 30 million tourist arrivals next year, which will contribute to 100 billion ringgit in revenue, with the balance to be contributed by domestic tourism. Datuk Mohammadin said Kelantan is among the states which is expected to attract a high number of foreign tourists. He added that a total of 5.5 million tourists are expected to visit Kelantan this year, with the arrival of tourists from Singapore and Thailand through various promotional activities. The state has seen a total of more than 1 million tourist arrivals between January and April.
Kita akan sentiasa menyokong kerjasama seumpama ini. Lebih-lebih lagi kita menghadapi tahun melawat Malaysia tahun 2020 dan semua negeri termasuk apa yang saya katakan sebentar tadi, negeri Kelantan pun akan turut sama untuk menjayakan program Tahun Melawat Malaysia 2020.
Dato' Mohammadin said this at the Kelantan Folk Arts Festival FKRK closing ceremony 2019 in Tumpat, Kelantan today. The event was also attended by Culture and Arts Department JKKN, Director General Tan Sri Norliza Rofli, Kelantan Culture, Tourism and Heritage Committee Chairman Dato' Mat Anizam Abdul Rahman and Narathiwat Deputy Governor Patimo Sadiamon. Based on statistics from the Department of Statistics, a total of 47 million domestic tourists visited Kelantan, while Tourism Malaysia recorded over 54,000 foreigners staying at hotels in the state last year. Football. After Japan-Korea 2002, next year's Qatar 2022 and perhaps China 2030, Malaysia could be adding themselves to the list of Asian World Cup hosts. While the national team are still a long way off from qualifying for the FIFA World Cup finals on merit, Malaysia could still find themselves in the grandest of football competitions after the Football Association of Malaysia (FAM) Congress threw their support behind the possibility of a joint ASEAN bid for a World Cup hosting job. FAM Vice President Datuk Sri Subhan Kamal was elated to see its members back any potential bid and also welcomed the proposal from the Congress to be leading the lobby party in a working partnership with other ASEAN countries.
Benda ni Fina, kita kena tak boleh orang kata cakap kerana tadi baru telah pun diumumkan tentang penubuhan dan bagi sokongan oleh perwakilan. Jadi benda ni kita kena duduk, discuss properly, come up with a game plan, come up with an idea, dan kita tak boleh lupa kita kena bekerjasama dengan AFF, AFC, also very important because we also have to meet with Dato' Vincer, John, and then discuss dengan dia apa yang boleh. Tapi yang pentingnya memang nawaitu kita memang kita nak bid for it lah, kita nak tengok kalau boleh dapat kerajaan pun dah sokong, apa salahnya kita cuba juga untuk hantar kita punya permohonan lah.
That concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story, home alone siblings perish in pre-dawn fire as parents were out helping firemen. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Cynthia Arthur and thank you for watching.